Hi drawing students. So this week your job is to create one piece. Last week the last step that I had given you was to plan a creative tree drawing. So if you don't remember that assignment, I'm going to go back and show you what it is now. So in our week 4, the last assignment of the week was creativity planning. So in this assignment, your job was to look at the examples and design a drawing that would be creative and interesting that used trees to represent other symbols. So this, you can see the outline of a rhinoceros in the shape of the trees and the outside silhouette of the trees. So each trunk is a leg, and then you can see the outside shape of it created by its branches. So that's just one example and one way of doing this, right? But you have to complete this assignment before you go on to the one that we're going to do this week. So I'm going to go back to the one for this week. If you have questions about the previous one, you can send me an email. So in our week 5, because this is a big week for us, we have conferences and other things happening. I want you to focus on how you can make a drawing of trees that's expressive. And think about the symbolism you mentioned that trees hold for you when we did the discussion board last week. Think about the practice that you did, and you're going to combine all of that into making your own independent piece. So you're going to use one page in your sketchbook, or if you have bigger paper and you want to use it, great. Otherwise, one page in your sketchbook, and you're going to make one drawing that has all of your ideas from last week put together and created with some real intent and the skills that you've developed. So in the directions here, I say think about the connection between the outline created by the trees and the trees themselves. Develop the drawing so the tree shapes are complex and interesting, independent of the outline. So if people look at your drawing and they don't realize what the outside shape is right away, I still want you to have a drawing that's successful enough so that they look at the trees and they're like, wow, those trees look super cool and realistic, or what's going on with those? So they're really interested in the trees themselves, and then they'll notice as they step back that the outside shape of the trees happens to make the silhouette of something else. So the steps in this process are here. You already have your planning done, and you can select your favorite sketch from last week. Create an outline of the object on your paper, and it can be anything you can think of creating that outline that you feel like relates to trees, or you can create some connection to them. It's fine. It could be a Pokemon that lives in trees. It really is totally up to you. So you're going to create an outside sketch or an outline of that general shape first, and you can use upside down drawing method if that works for you. Decide how many trees are going to go inside that space and where they're going to start. You can kind of roughly sketch that in. And then after you draw those trees initially, you're going to go back in and add light and dark value and smaller details that you did in your practice. You can use your eraser to make light parts, push harder on your pencil to make dark parts. You can also go back with a pen if you'd like for further details and a little more depth. You can add images within the branches or even words by the way the branches are arranged. All of that could happen. You want to erase the outline that goes on the outside edge of the shape that you created initially, so that's gone and the trees just kind of stop. This video shows a quick time lapse of my setup of the trees and how I had the outside shape drawn, and then I continued to draw on the inside. I used the example, my symbol that I wanted to use was a watering can, and I was thinking about how I constantly use one all summer to keep my plants alive, and how, having trees helps keep us alive, right? So I used that symbolism. I was thinking about that symbolism, and then I put trees in that were larger and smaller, like old growth, new growth. I was thinking about those things. You can check that out. And then here's a quick tip video on how to add in pen to get a little more detail. When you are done with your drawing, you are going to take a photo of it and take a clear photo of it so I can see your entire sketchbook page. And then if you used any other photos as a reference, like if you looked up a certain type of tree that you loved, like a shape of a weeping willow or something else, you can add that. And then you're going to answer these reflection prompts and put it all together into one notability note and then submit it. This drawing is a summative assessment and it is graded based on these criteria. So creativity, how unique is your idea? Your development of detail, so the darks and lights and the roughness of the tree, the smaller parts and smaller branches, craftsmanship and control. So does it show improved drawing control from your last practice last week? And that the amount of thought you put into your reflection can earn you more points. If you do not want to write your answer to all of these prompts, you can just do an audio recording and attach that as well. So those are your choices, and here are the links to both of the videos if these embedded videos don't show up for you. So here is your focus for the week. You should spend about 2 hours on this drawing, maybe 2.5. It really depends a lot on your investment in the details and where you are as a drawing student. So good luck. Let me know if you have questions.